Hi, I'm Zach from Corexcell. Today we're going to show you the key principles behind improving someone's knee drive for sprinting without doing all the different leg cycles and leg movements, but by correcting the weakness in the brevis and longus and the adductor chain. And if you've been struggling for years, you've been doing all the different skipping drills that you're told to do by your track coach or just your strength coach in general, and you've been working on properly cycling the leg and you still can't drive your knee up higher and you feel like there's like a flexibility limitation, that's what this video is designed to teach you, is why that's occurring and just some ways that you can also fix that problem. So first we're going to show you the anatomy, and then we're going to go in and we're going to show you some of the exercise concepts that we use in order to pinpoint that weakness and just give you some general ideas of how to improve that for your athlete. What we're going to be working on is the adductor right here. What we're attacking here, we're not getting that much of the magnus here, okay? Because during this exercise, you're going to be medially rotating. You are going to be getting some of the magnus, but the main concentration here is going to be on the main medial rotators that work with the glute medius and minimus. So we have the gracilis here, which is a medial rotator. You have adductor longus, and behind the longus here, you have the brevis. So those are the muscles that we're trying to attack to help fully balance at the hips. Hip flexion, if you're driving your knee in front of your body and you got a weakness within these adductors, because the adductors, most of the adductors except for the groin magnus are hip flexors, the sartorius and the TFL will also dominate and take over in that position. Keep in mind that during hip flexion, TFL tightness is mainly going to be caused from the glute medius and minimus being weak, and has less to do with the adductor chain. So during hip flexion, if you have those impingements in the sartorius and also the TFL, every time you go up, you're going to see athletes and they're going to want to swing their foot out like this when they're sprinting, or they're just going to have trouble driving their knee up all the way during a full sprint. So once you strengthen up the adductor chain here and also the glute medius and minimus, that takes pressure off the TFL and then the sartorius, and now it's going to help to change that running gait, allow them to get up higher, and also allow them to move straighter as they come up and down. So what I want you to keep in mind, and like I talked about in the anatomy, that the adductors, the brevis, the longus, gracilis, are hip flexors, okay? But the groin magnus isn't. So if you're getting on a Nautilus machine and you're just doing general Nautilus, groin exercises like this is going to be very groin magnus dominant. Yeah, you're going to be working some of the brevis and longus, but if those are weak in the chain, it's just going to be a lot of magnus. And a lot of the time too, what you see is with athletes that have a weakness here, when they do these type of exercises, especially if you're more up into hip flexion and seated position, then it goes into their TFL into the front portion of the hip like I talked about in other videos, or it goes into the sartorius and you don't get any strengthening of the brevis and longus at all, and it just becomes a very compensated exercise that works the magnus along with all the other muscles that we talked about that are going to compensate. So what we like doing with our exercises, and again, we're not going to show you the specific exercise. If you really want to learn how to do this correctly, make sure that you check out Corexcell 12, and that's going to show, it's very inexpensive to get into, and you can learn all our exercises, how to fix your upper, lower body, and also core. But generally what we try to do is we try to do medial rotation exercises so that the leg's moving in this way here as we adduct, and that takes all the pressure off then the groin magnus and allows you to focus on the brevis and the longus. But the key is really with this exercise called the groin clamp, the key is the positioning of it. If you're not in the right position and you try to do it, it's just going to become an exercise that's going to focus on the compensation and not on correcting the weakness. I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe, and also keep note that we do offer one-on-one video call sessions so that you can learn how to do all these exercises properly, and also how you can rehab yourself if you've been injured for years and you can't get out of pain.